You know those smooth, light flare transitions that feel premium? Most people buy them as packs, but I make mine from scratch. And today I'll show you how you can do the same. Now, even I have a template pack, but I know sometimes editors need a little more customization, which is the same reason why I started making my own in DaVinci Resolve. Let me show you how I create cinematic overlays that feel premium. All you need is the Fusion page. By the way, if you use LinkedIn for maybe searching for clients or even hiding other people, then you'll definitely love this tool that I have, which is going to save you tons of time. With Duck Soup, you can automate the search process and get the required results in an Excel sheet without having to manually search. Go to the link in the description and add this coupon HA19 to get a discount. Now back to the video. All right, so here we are in DaVinci Resolve, and you can see that I have these two footages. These are not basically two different footages, it's just the same footage, and I have a cut within it. So if I play this, you can see this is the cut, and we can add a transition right here. So for that, let's go ahead and drag in our Fusion composition. Right click, and actually let's change the length. So press Ctrl D, and let's go ahead, change the duration to 1. Let's position this right here in the center, right click and click on Open in Fusion page. Now let's go ahead, drag in our background, and also press Ctrl space and search for glow. Add in this glow and then connect this with the media out. Now with the background, you just go ahead and change the color to white. And let's also go ahead and add in this ellipse and connect this with the background. Now in the glow, just go ahead and change the glow size to 100. Keep the glow at 0.8, but now select this color scale and change the red and the green all the way to 2. So that's it. Now, of course, if you want a different sort of, you can say glow, you can just play around with this. Maybe you want this one or something else, but usually in this sort of a overlay, or you can say transition overlay, you usually go with something like a white or yellow color. So this is how you can get it in DaVinci. Now the next thing is, and this is the only thing that you need to focus on now, is the ellipse. So we just need to change the movement of the ellipse, and we can simply just do that with keyframes. So right here at 0, let's go ahead and change the width and the height. And by the way, this is random. And also change the glow soft edge. So right now this is how it looks. So for example, something like this, let's start with this. Maybe we can also change the angle. All right, so maybe we can start with this. So over here at 0, just go ahead, create a keyframe at angle and at center. Let's go over at 1 and change the position. So maybe let's say move it right here. And then let's maybe this time increase the width a little bit. Go over at 2. Let's go ahead and change the center. So maybe let's move it here. And let's decrease the height, something like this, and the width as well. Something like this. Right now we're just keeping it at the edges because we're just going to start it, and you will see how this will look at the end, but just trust the process. So right here at the 3rd frame, let's go ahead and move it to this corner this time. Maybe increase the height, and let's go over at 4, bring this right here, change the angle, the width again. Actually, let's go ahead and move it right here. And now at 5, we're not going to create any keyframe. But at 10, we're going to create the keyframes for angle and center as well. So now we're going to go ahead and change it for 11. So maybe let's go a little bit lower at the width. Move it right here, change the angle. So right now, if you play this, you can already see some movement right here. And by the way, just go ahead and play around with the soft edge if you want to. Maybe let's just keep this at 0.2. So yeah, this looks much better. And now at 12, let's go ahead and increase the width this time. So let's add it right here. So now we're going to go with more width. And at 13, again, let's increase it a little bit more. And this time let's move it right here. So maybe something like this. And then at 14, we're just going to create this at the center. So we're just going to move this at the center with the width and the height increased. Just enough, but don't cover the whole screen. And the reason why we're doing it at 14 is because this was a good spot for me personally. But of course, you can go ahead and choose any of these keyframes right here. Maybe you can choose 13, 12, 15, that's up to you. But you need one of them where you need to cover at least 80% of the screen. And you will see at the end why this is important. And then at 15, let's just bring this back to how we were doing this before. So you can already see like this is just a random movement that we're doing. And by the way, I think we should change the angle and bring this right here. So something like this. All right. So here you will notice that we forgot to create the width and the height. So we do need to create a keyframe at 13. So let's create a keyframe at 13 and also at 15 for the width and the height. And then come over at 14. And now we need to increase the width and the height. So I forgot to do that. So that's why it's gone. But no worries, we can do this again. So right here you will notice, okay, it's done now. And now let's go over at 15. Okay, let's go over at 16 and let's move this right here, maybe right here, change the angle. Then again at 17, let's move this somewhere around here. But I think you get the idea now that this is how we're supposed to be doing it. And then at 18, let's move this up somewhere. And then at 19, so this is the second spot in which we're going to do the same thing that we did at 14. So we're going to bring this right here. Actually at 18, this time, make sure that the width and the height keyframes are also selected and also the angle. And then at 19, just bring this right here in the center once again. Increase the width and the height all the way. Try doing it more this time because this is going to be the final one. And now at 20, just move this back to how it was. Something like this. And finally at 21, let's bring this right here. And at 22, let's just move this somewhere around here. So if we play this now, this is how it looks. Now right here, the one that we created at 4, let's go over at 5. And this time, let's just move this out of the screen. So maybe something like this. And then at 10, let's just keep this out of the screen as well. So we need a gap over here as well. So now you can see that this is how it looks and it looks pretty good. So this is what we were going for. And by the way, the whole thing that I showed you was random. You can do this on your own as well, but only focus on the point that I showed you at 14 and at 19. Now, of course, you can keep this at maybe, let's say 15 and 20. That's up to you. But that's the technique that you need to use if you're going for an overlay, a light ray sort of overlay in DaVinci. Now, if you go back and if you play this, you can see this is how it looks. Now, right here, you can see that we had this, right? We had this at 19. So we just need to bring this right here where the transition is. So if you play this now you can see this looks good. And of course, you can maybe keep this at add. It's not going to make much of a difference, but sometimes in overlays, we change the composite mode to add and also change the opacity. But I think this works for us. So here you can see this looks good, right? So you can go ahead and do this in many different ways. You can change the color, for example. You can change the shape, for example. You can even add text in the place of this ellipse. So you can just replace it with the text and do the same thing that I did by changing the keyframes rapidly. You can do the same thing with the text. Now, of course, I also have a pack in which I have different transitions that you can use. You can go over to my Patreon and buy it. But I've already shown you how you can do this manually on your own. So you really don't need that. But of course, this is a manual process and you do need some time for it. If you want to learn how to create your own motion graphics, effects, overlays inside DaVinci Resolve without having to depend on any plugins, well, subscribe for more videos like this one.